Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu flags off $250 million hyperscale data center. LAWMA PSP operators meet to enforce environmental laws, and Ilera-Eko Equity Fund Town Hall meeting is held. We kick off the show from the technology sector. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has flagged off a $250 million hyperscale data center at Lekki Peninsula. Governor Sanwo-Olu is partnering with Kasi Cloud Limited to unlock new levels of technology innovation that will bring about digital infrastructure improvement in the state. Take a look.
Perhaps it's what you will see.
A hyperscale center is about to spring up on this 4-hectare land at Lekki Peninsula, Lagos. It's an initiative expected to drive internet access to citizens across the country. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is ready to be a part of this reality, which is why he's supporting the move by Kasi Cloud Limited to provide the largest digital infrastructure in the nation's commercial center.
Kasi's mission of building technology and digital infrastructure is to accelerate digital transformation in Nigeria for a future society that benefits all. Digital transformation is when we use these digital technologies to create or modify existing businesses, processes, culture, as well as our collective experiences to meet changing and market requirements. And truly, we've been a mobile-first technology. We are indeed going to be digital, and Lagos will be the capital of digital Nigeria, if not digital West Africa, across Africa. Kasi is a first-of-its-kind, mass-scale cloud data center and digital ecosystem company that is bringing world-class design and critical digital infrastructure services to Africa via Lagos, Nigeria. We believe that these new generation of digital platforms will accelerate cloud adoption and interconnect people, businesses, and governmental institutions in Nigeria, and connect Nigeria to the rest of the world.
The private partners are hopeful that the data center project will transform and reposition the domestic tech space in Nigeria.
For Nigeria, we believe that this is not just the future, it is also the present. It's an opportunity for us as Nigeria to be able to leapfrog, catch up, however you may describe it, but not to lag behind, because we have all the necessary competitive advantages as a country to make sure that we play a role in digital technology. So consequently, 2 years ago, this was made for us an area of focus, of investing. And I'm glad that Kasi is our first investment in digital technology. We see digital technology in 3 ways. The first, we see it as the backbone of enabling infrastructure. So it's everything from cable landing stations to data centers to terrestrial fiber network to everything that we believe builds the right level of infrastructure. That's phase 1 for us. And in phase 2, I believe that this goes on into 2 folds. One, it goes into software services, business process outsourcing. These are areas that we can employ hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in this country. You cannot do that if you don't have enabling technology in place.
The former Minister of Information, Frank Nweke Jr., applauds the state government for positioning Lagos as a destination for investment.
That I want to pay my respect to Mr. Governor and his colleagues in Lagos State for really positioning Lagos as a preeminent destination for investment in Nigeria and indeed on the continent of Africa. So I salute your investments in security. I salute your humility and your foresight. In the brief moment before we started, I saw the interaction you had with the local community, and I sort of eavesdropped on what you said to them. You were again letting them know the importance of what is about to happen here. You're reminding them of the responsibilities they have to protect this investment going on here. You're explaining to them why it is important for this to happen. And I salute you, because in some other climes, people take the land, and whatever is going to happen, they couldn't be bothered. And then it causes problems, and the investors begin to have problems.
And Governor Sanwo-Olu believes the project will unlock new levels of innovation, create jobs and deliver high-speed internet access that will be needed for emerging and existing digital ecosystems.
We might see this as a simple event, but it's an historic and it's a very strategic one. It's an important event for us, even as a government, because this sits right into our economic agenda. It sits into the fabric of what we had promised our citizens under our team's agenda. You know, our team's agenda is THEMES, right? And so the first E there is education and technology. And it's driven by the fact that we know that Lagos not only just want to be a technologically driven economy, we want to use education, you know, technology as a tool to be able to create the 21st century, you know, Lagos that we all dream and we talk about. And so when we see investment and we see stakeholders like Cassie and the likes, you know, helping us to actualize all of the big dreams, all of the things that we have promised our citizens, it certainly cannot just be a groundbreaking ceremony. For us, it's an epoch event, and it's something that both Mr. Governor and Mr. Deputy Governor feels very important and compelled to come, you know, and indeed do this. We usually don't do groundbreaking. We do commissioning. We do things when it's been done. But this is important, and we want the notice and the information to go around, both locally and international, that you have all of our support. You have all of our administrative backing to ensure that this comes to reality. And so we will ask ourselves, why are we doing this? We're doing it because we're in an era in which we have no time. We're racing against time for the very huge youth population that we have, for the very many innovative ideas that are bound in this country and in this state. For us understanding and appreciating that the future is around innovation. The future is technology. And it's only when you can arrest talent globally that you can be in that space. It means that we're bringing world-class hyper-tech infrastructure to sub-Saharan Africa. It means that we're building opportunity for world-class financial centers even to have the ability to be able to have their data reside in sub-Saharan Africa, in Africa. And so it's not just a small feat. It's an audacious one, and it's one that we're truly, truly proud of that's happening in our own time.
The groundbreaking ceremony signals the beginning of construction of the $250 million hyperscale data center that will stand as the largest in Africa.
From technology, we head to the environment. The Lagos State government has asked residents to imbibe the culture of proper waste disposal or face the wrath of the law. This was announced by the Managing Director of the State Waste Management Authority, Ibrahim Odubodi, at the Stakeholders Engagement Forum on Enforcement of the Environmental Laws of the state. He says environmental officers will now be fully kitted with body cameras to ensure effective disposal of waste in Lagos State.
The Lagos State Waste Management Authority is responsible for waste collection with supervisory roles on disposal structure. It also synergizes with private sector waste operators to keep Lagos clean. Achieving a clean environment also involves deliberate effort from residents, a reason why the Lagos State government, LAWMA, and waste managers and other stakeholders are brainstorming on how to enforce the State Environmental Management Protection Law 2017.
It is what you give to the environment that the environment gives back to you. And that is the reason why all of us within the environment family, especially in Lagos State, are gathered here together to fashion a way out. Because there have been a whole lot of impunity, infractions, you know, what I call in the local parlance, I don't care attitude about the environment, especially in our dear state, Lagos. Though this is not limited to Lagos alone. But because Lagos is always in the forefront of doing the right thing, Lagos is trailing the way to ensure that we harmonize the activities of every individual, organizations that are operating within the environmental management and within the enforcement of the law.
It is clear that there cannot be an effective waste management system without an adequate enforcement of our environmental laws. The polluter pays principle being adopted in Lagos State is clearly the right way to go. The waste management industry is service-oriented, and it must be seen as one, where waste operators provide an effective service to the waste generators, and in return, the waste generator is obligated to pay. There must be an effective enforcement system in place that will ensure prompt payment. If not, the entire system will eventually collapse, as the waste operators will not have the necessary cash to meet their obligations, and the environment is worse for it. Lagos State was experiencing over 70% revenue collection rate before the policies of assault of the last administration. The policies of assault saw the introduction of communal dumping of waste on the highways and medians that saw heaps of refuse across the state because the usurping service provider lacked equipment and the technical know-how about the business. People had sold the notion that waste evacuation was a free service. Thence, indiscriminate dumping of refuse was encouraged, thereby bringing our once sparkling environment to disrepute. Due to public outcry, the then administration reversed itself and restored the door-to-door waste collection service to be carried out by the PSP operators. At the start of this administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the executive governor of Lagos State enhanced the door-to-door waste collection services provided by the PSP operators and challenged them to put their gain in the management of the business, to up their gain in the management of the business of the environment.
The state government asked officials overseeing the environment to be the eye of government and ensure residents adhere to environmental laws.
Equally important is the need to enforce best sanitary practice. Waste sorting, waste containerization, and waste separation. We have the enabling laws, but it is important that all stakeholders are equipped and not working in silos, but in collaboration around.
You are the eyes of government before the world. Your effective management and implementation of what you have as your duties is very important to how the community and how residents perceive us as a government.
Meanwhile, the managing director of LAWMA says body cameras will be used to monitor those who dispose of waste illegally.
Enforcement is the last option. It should be the last option. Education and awareness, retraining, reorientation, those are our key couple of options before we go to enforcement. But we can't just stand there and wait for people to do the wrong thing every time. Throwing waste out of your car while you're driving, absolutely unacceptable. And that's why we, CAI and Neighborhood Watch, we are now going to use cameras, timestamp cameras, body cameras to monitor everyone that does that. And if you feel you are doing it and you are not being caught, you are caught. It's just that your judgment day is about to come. It will come to you. So no matter where you are in Lagos, be you are in Egbeda, you are in VI, you are in Ilera-Eko, and you are doing it, the photo of your car has been taken, the plate number has been taken. When the time comes and you get to court, all those evidences will be tendered against you. We will not even bother. If it's going to take 3 months, 6 months to prosecute you, one day you will be prosecuted, and you'll be made an example to everyone out there that want to turn this environment to something we will not all be proud of. We are a precedent for everybody in Nigeria. Lagos is a center of excellence. As we continue to be a role model for neighboring states and everyone that is looking at us as designing what solid waste management to be in the future, we also want to ensure that we appeal to our people. It's not until when you are prosecuted, it's not until when you are caught, do the right thing. Please do the right thing. We continue to go to all our SCDAs and CDAs to do our stakeholder meeting, sensitize people about what needs to be done. But in areas where we've been to, definitely enforcement has already kickstarted. The moment we leave there, there is no excuse for not knowing.
24 magistrates and mobile courts have been enlisted by the Lagos State Judiciary to sit on cases of waste bill defaulters and other environmental sanitation offences in the state.
We now move from environment to health. The Lagos State government is investing so much into the health sector in order to provide quality and affordable health services for all those who reside in the nation's commercial nerve center. At this time, the state government has set aside a health insurance equity fund that will cater for vulnerable residents in the state.
The Lagos State government is not resting on its hands with regards to the enrollment of residents into the health insurance scheme as it pushes to get more people on board. The State Health Management Agency is seeking to improve its services with the launch of a new funding arrangement announced to beneficiaries at a town hall meeting in GRA Ikeja.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has deployed over 700 million naira as equity fund to pay for health insurance for the vulnerable and indigent residents of the state. Individuals who fall under the vulnerable group were identified using a multi-dimensional poverty index tool to ensure the accuracy, reliability, and validity of the data generated. To ensure that all deserving of quality healthcare service and cannot afford it are adequately catered for, the Lagos State Management Agency will continue to grow the vulnerable register and develop innovative ways to provide access to quality healthcare services for all. Over 100,000 beneficiaries of the Equity Fund are currently enjoying free quality healthcare under the Ilera-Eko Social Health Insurance Scheme. To complement the state government's effort, the Lagos State Health Management Agency is also at the verge of rolling out an innovative health financing initiative called EcoSha. EcoSha is an innovative way to raise funds from philanthropists, organizations, donors, and alike to crowdfund health insurance premiums and adoption of indigent and the vulnerable on the scheme in partnership with government. It is our aspiration that all these resources pulled together will further improve the health indices of Lagos State, which ranks far above national average, and further the dream of attaining universal health coverage in Lagos State.
1% of the Lagos Consolidated Revenue Fund has been set aside by the government to cater for the vulnerable population. Some of those enjoying the scheme applaud the state health authorities.
I want to say a very big thank you to the governor of Lagos State and the organizers of this great initiative. Some weeks back, I was so sick, typhoid malaria, and they tried everything, but on getting to the hospital, because I was under the scheme, I was attended to immediately without paying a dime. I just want to plead with the organizers and the governor most especially to make sure that this continues and ensure that it gets to the rural areas, especially those living with visual impairments, blindness, and other disabilities.
I came to know about this Ilera-Eko through Bethesda Home for the Blind, where I'm in currently. So they are the people. There was a time I was seriously down, malaria. So there was no money anywhere. So through the help of this home, I was able to be admitted into one of their healthcare center. So that is how I got to know about it, and they treated me free of charge without collecting any dime. So I really want to thank God for them, for this kind of initiative. It's a welcome development. This is what we have been craving for. This is what we have been preaching about. For especially people like us living with visual impairment, we really need a lot of this kind of support. So we are like Oliver Twist, we are still asking for more. Please let them extend this thing a little bit.
Here is more on what's being done to expand the scheme.
Currently, we have about 58 of our primary healthcare centers under Ilera-Eko providing care. And we are working with the Primary Healthcare Board to increase that number gradually. What is important is that if you go into an Ilera-Eko care center, an Ilera-Eko center, you should be assured of the quality of care that you will get there, right? So it is not just every facility, whether public or private, that automatically qualifies. We want to be sure that when you get in there, you will be well taken care of. So we are working with the Primary Healthcare Board to continuously increase that number as we go along. We have other initiatives that are coming. My Honorable Commissioner is seated there. It is a great priority, actually, for health sector to ensure that all PHCs are fully and totally functional and are able to meet people. As you said, they are next door to everybody in the grassroots. So it's something that we are working on very actively. There are no exceptions. We don't look at your age. We don't look at any pre-existing conditions. There's nothing like that. Once you live in Lagos, you have access to this plan, and whatever is covered under that plan, you benefit from it. So we actually, during engagement with 60 plus, we came up with this seniors plan, which allows our elderly to not just have benefits from the normal plan, but they have the facility to go once a year to have a massive screening done. So we'll check them for cancer of prostate, etc., to be sure that they are healthy into the next year. The benefit package is very specific in terms of what it would cover. We can't cover everything. Now, as we increase the number of people that come under this scheme, we are able to drop the cost and expand the services. That's why it is of advantage that people buy into this scheme. Because when you have a huge pool of funds, you actually have sufficient latitude to now start adding things into that scheme that you find that is a need, and while also dropping the amount. So we have 8,500 for an individual. Now, if we were to increase the number of people under that scheme, it's very possible that we drop that amount to 6,000 using actuals. I'm giving an example. And we can add more benefits. The last actuarial analysis that we did allowed us to add things like glasses, which were not there before, dental care, which was not there before. We even have cover for cancer up to a certain amount.
A referral reward plan has also been introduced by LAWMA to attract more Lagosians to the scheme.
The Ilera-Eko referral reward program. It's a program that is designed for all residents of Lagos State that are coming on the Ilera-Eko health insurance plan to have the opportunity to make some form of enterprise on it. That means that they can go home making money for every enrollee that they share the gospel of Ilera-Eko with. It means that for every family plan, they can access 5,000 naira into their account. For every individual plan, they can access 2,000 naira into their account. And you can imagine if, for instance, you have like 100 family, that's 500,000 every year, which is guaranteed for every resident as long as they continue to bring people on Ilera-Eko health insurance plan. It has come to stay. It's an integral part of what we do. It's part of our initiative, and indeed it's an innovation, and we've added this to the sales of our plans across the state. So once you are able to refer people, we onboard you, we register you, we train you. In fact, we organize a regiment of lifelong training for you to be able to do very well on the referral program.
And the wife of the State Commissioner for Information represents the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu.
The plan to promote the health of Lagosians has been anchored on health insurance. Therefore, huge investment has been expended in health insurance since the inception of this administration. As we speak, it is gratifying that the government has successfully onboarded all public servants in Lagos State on Ilera-Eko. Wow. While Lagos also became the first in the country to commence health insurance regulations, based on evidence that a sizable number of residents of the state cannot afford to pay their health insurance premiums. Mr. Governor approved the Ilera-Eko Equity Fund, which is 1% of the state's consolidated revenue fund, as part of the government's social protection plan. Through this effort, the government provides financial protection to the poor when they seek health care services to boost their purchasing capacities and stimulate economic growth. As a government, the commitment of the present administration of Mr. Governor is to continue to support the quest for universal health coverage in Lagos State through continuous support for the Ilera-Eko Equity Fund and other health initiatives of the state government. No stone will be left unturned towards ensuring that all residents of the state can have access to quality and affordable health care.
Over 600,000 residents are currently registered under Ilera-Eko Health Scheme. The state government is calling on other individuals to take advantage of the initiative and enjoy affordable and quality healthcare services in Lagos.
That's the program for this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until next time, please stay safe.